Woman blinded by acid attack finds love from her hospital bed. Pramodini Rural, who's known as Ronnie to her friends and family, was just 15 years old when a paramilitary soldier threw acid into her face, melting her skin and blinding her in both eyes, simple because she had turned down his marriage proposal. Ronnie had been returning from home after an exam with her cousin when the 28-year-old man biked past and doused her with acid. She spent 4 months in ICU and had to remain in bed for 4 years afterwards, looked after by her widowed mother. She's gone through 5 reconstructive surgeries, one of which restored partial vision to her left eye, and has been in physical and mental pain for almost a decade. She's unable to pursue a case against her attacker. The police were bribed when the attack occurred and proceeded to offer to marry Ronnie after causing her serious injury. I am still waiting for the day when the attacker would be arrested and put behind the bars, says Ronnie. The police had come to record my statement after the attack, and I had to lodge the FIRs for more than once. But the police did not seem to take the case seriously. They did not even arrest the attacker despite me detailing his identity. In fact, to our surprise, they lied and denied the very existence of any such person with that name. I also filed a case against the man and had also received summons from the court asking for the submission of evidences. But because I was bedridden and my mother was left alone due to the withdrawal of support from my family, nothing much could be done. My younger cousin was an eyewitness, but there was no one to take him to the court. Because of all this, the case was dismissed in the year 2012. All of this was discussed as Pramodi lay in hospital in excruciating pain. That's not a time when you'd expect a love story to blossom, but it did. As Pramodi, who's known as Ronnie to her friends and family, lay in her hospital bed at a hospital, waiting for a treatment for the pus-filled infection that had ravaged the skin graft on her legs, she met Suraj Kumar Sahu. Suraj was a friend of one of the nurses giving Ronnie treatment. On one of his visits to the hospital, he saw Ronnie's mother crying and reached out to offer some support. We met in March 2014 when he had come with his friends to visit the hospital, remembers Ronnie. Initially we didn't speak to each other, even though he had seen me. However, after around 15 days he started to speak to me. He would often visit the hospital. I believe he saw my mother and observed her, and then slowly started extending helping hands. She would always come alone for my physiotherapy. One day he heard my mother ask about my improvement and how long would it take for me to recover as my lower body had by then deteriorated. I was not able to move without help, let alone stand on my feet. The reply wasn't very positive, as the doctor said that it would take at least 4 years for me to be able to walk. My mother naturally broke down when she heard that. That is when Suraj consoled her and assured her that he would do everything possible to get me walking. From then on, Suraj visited Ronnie every day, even quitting his job so he could spend his days looking after Ronnie. He was extremely caring and looked after my needs, says Ronnie. He would talk to me for hours and motivate me. It was a tough time for me when doctors had told me I would not be able to walk for 4 years. I had already lost my eyesight, and the thought of being bedridden was an added woe. But Suraj did not lose hope. He would encourage me every day, motivating me to be positive and have hopes. He even quit his job to meet me every day. From 8 to 12 a.m. in the morning and 4 to 8 p.m. in the evening, he was there with me. It had become a routine. Just as medication was required for the physical recovery, I needed dire support and encouragement at the mental level. Gradually, the wound started healing, and with treatment and exercise, and with his help and support, I regained my confidence, and now I am standing back on my feet. Despite being unable to see Suraj, Ronnie began to fall in love. Suraj did too. In January 2016, Suraj expressed his feelings, but Ronnie wasn't ready yet to commit to a relationship. I too had fallen for him, loved him, and I did tell him that. But I also knew that loving is different from entering into a relationship, she explains. I was not fit enough to look after myself. How could I keep others happy? So I didn't really agree then. But it was he who kept encouraging me by telling me not to think too much. He assured me that there will come a day when I will not